Well, hello. This was going to be a stream, but apparently my internet is throttled down to 2G. So I'm going to record this and then, I don't know, upload it for 3 days. And then maybe it'll get uploaded. I'm halfway kidding. It really will take a really long time, hours for me to upload this. But I'm looking at getting some different internet. I've been experimenting 3 different ways, and I'm hoping the third way, 3 times the charm, in getting me reliable internet access that allows me to stream reliably. So anyway, this is a recorded stream, which is why I'm not going to edit this. It's kind of just me freeballing a little bit with this college loan reimbursement thing that people keep talking about. And I gotta say, I'm hearing some kind of screwy ideas, and hearing a lot of people I wouldn't expect to hear supporting this idea. And let me just say, first and foremost, no fucking way. No fucking way. And not because of some stupid, libertarian RNC neocon view of, get yourself up by the bootstraps. No, it's just because you listen to what you're saying when you're saying that we should forgive debt. You think what you're saying is, well, we've bailed out the banks. Let's bail out the people. Let's bail out the people for once. Oh, we're just stealing from the banks. We're just stealing from the schools. No. You're stealing from people like me. You're stealing from people like me that saw the scam or thought maybe I wouldn't be able to afford to pay that off. Maybe because I was going into a field where it wasn't guaranteed I'd be getting tons of money and I didn't have rich parents, that it was probably a better idea that I was self-taught. And that I tried doing things that way. I didn't want to go $100,000, $200,000 in the debt because I was already worried about how I was ever going to pay that kind of money off for a house. And we'll get into that in a second too. So I didn't do it. So let me explain how that's stealing from me. It's not just if you get your student loan debt forgiven. It's not just a kick in the balls to me that you got a free $100,000, free $200,000. Okay? If that's where it stopped, that would still hurt, but that wouldn't be as bad. It's not just that. It's you get all, you think, first of all, the biggest thing about school is the networking. You think I didn't want to go to film school? You think I didn't want to go to animation school? You think I didn't want to have mentors and peers? You think I wanted to stay up like 4 days at a time watching YouTube videos and trying to find the right software, just bumbling through it myself, like for days on end, trying to figure out how to do any kind of animation? And then you think I wanted to, after I started getting somewhat good at it, make free projects myself, try to build a portfolio, make fake commercials and shit that I could show some place that would maybe hopefully hire me, even though I had no background, no education, and I didn't know anybody? You think that's how I wanted to do things? You think that didn't set me back a little bit? So you're benefiting. If you get that degree, you're benefiting from the networking aspect of it. You're benefiting from the education aspect of it. And you're benefiting, not just then, you think I wanted to get paid 20% less than the people that had some piece of paper showing that they were a genius? I got the genius paper. I got this paper that says I'm smart. So I automatically get paid 20% more. Devin doesn't have the piece of paper. I have the piece of paper. So you're not just benefiting. If we bail you out now, you're kicking me in the balls because I specifically made decisions to avoid being in debt. And now you're telling me it doesn't fucking matter. And not only did I not get the networking experience, not only did I not get the mentoring experience, not only did I not get the education itself, not the job placement, everything that goes with that. But on top of that, we're just writing a check, and guess who's paying for that? If you think, by the way, that in the end, it's going to be like the banks and shit that are going to pay for this. That's just completely retarded. All right, they'll just like always, they'll find a way for the middle class to be paying this bill. Okay, even if it sounds good the way they sell it, at the end it's not going to be good. So now I'm paying for it, and you're also still benefiting through like the rest of your life. You still have that edge, that 20% income boost. You still get favored if we have the exact same portfolio, or even if yours is slightly worse, and we apply for the same job. Well, I don't know. This guy, he's got the piece of paper saying he's a genius. A genius that couldn't figure out the whole college loan scam. So, no. You're such a genius. You went to school and you can say, "Oh, but they tricked me. They tricked me. It was manufactured consent. They tricked me. Oh, not so smart, are you, college boy? Getting so tricked, are you?" See, if that's the way you want to go, oh, they tricked you. So I guess you're not responsible, huh? I guess personal responsibility doesn't matter anymore then, huh? Is that right? Well, I got news for you. I guess McDonald's and every sugar company needs to start paying for all of the insulin. All of it. Where does this end? Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Where do you say, okay, well, they manufactured my consent. How come they didn't manufacture my consent? How was I so, I don't know, like psychic? How did I read the mind of the evil bankers that were tricking you and figure out it was a bad idea? What was it what were they doing to you that they weren't doing to me? So you can fuck right off with that. You went to school because you wanted to be fancy. You want to be the genius boy with the fancy car. You wanted to make the big money. You wanted to be a programmer. You wanted to get a cool tech job in Silicon Valley. Or worse, you wanted to get one of those stupid worthless feminism degrees or something like that that's completely meaningless, and you guys all deserve that shit. You deserve to be wage slaves the rest of your life. So basically what I'm saying is, only way I'm fucking okay with this at all. Only way I'm okay with this at all. And I'm still losing out is if you cut me a check for $100,000. Cut me and everyone else that didn't get tricked, whose consent magically wasn't manufactured. You cut us all a check for $100,000. All right. And it's a deal. Still sucks because, like I said, you still benefit for the rest of your life for having that college experience. Having that little fancy boy piece of paper saying how you're a genius. So you still benefit the rest of your life. The $100,000 is not, it doesn't even the playing field, but it takes the sting out. Now another option, and I'm not as big of a fan about it. There's a funny aspect to this one. I like justice. I'm very, very, very concerned with personal responsibility and justice. In fact, if you want to figure out where I am on an issue like this issue, it will almost, well, and I hope always come down to justice and personal responsibility every time. That's just how I think. That's my ethics. Anyway, so the other option, that, like I said, I'm not even going to say that this would make me too happy, but it is a little funny. Instead of wiping out college debt, let's do it this way. If you were so gullible that your consent was manufactured, that you didn't know. I didn't know. Everyone was telling me I had to have a degree. How was I supposed to know? I'm just this NPC that just goes along with what everyone says. And so I didn't think for myself, and I just got this stupid piece of paper, and now I've got all this debt. Okay. Then return it. We'll pay. You can basically return it like you'd return any product. We take away your little genius boy piece of paper telling everyone how smart you are, and we refund your money. Now, again, like I said, it's kind of funny because it would, I don't know, I would think it was funny to watch some of these people have to give back their little fancy award, their little gold star. I'm smart. Look, it says right here. I would think that was kind of funny. But again, it wouldn't really, I mean, it'd still sting because obviously, well, hopefully they learned at least something from the experience. They got the networking, the mentoring, and all that stuff, right? And if nothing else, worst case scenario, I mean, they partied for like 3 or 4 years for free if we're paying for it. So, yeah, you guys can fuck right off with your, let's get rid of college debt. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? How did I know? I'm not a prophet. How did you not know? Is a better question. It's like the bailouts, all right? Yeah, the bank bailouts were fucked up. Shouldn't have happened. But that's not the only kind of bailouts that happened. They had mortgage bailouts too, and that infuriated me. Back in 2008, I had no business. I was making I think maybe $30,000 a year. I had no business being approved for a home. I was probably making a little more than that, but I wasn't making much. And at the time, I had friends that were making about the same that had 3 houses. 3 houses. And they were like, oh, you got to get a house. Like, this market's just going to keep going on and on and on to infinity. Like, I just doubled my money on this house, and now I got another house, and now I got this adjustable rate mortgage. And I'm like, wait, hold on, what adjustable what? And no, don't worry about that. And then I knew, I was like, this is crazy. This is bad. I went in just to check it out. Like, I went to a bank just to see like what my options were, and they were approving me for houses that it made no sense because the paperwork I was giving them said I couldn't afford, like, there's no way I'd be able to make the payments, and they didn't seem to care. Like, they were approving me still. And I'm not an idiot. So you could have said that in that situation, oh, they manufactured your consent. No. Manufacturing your consent is, if I wave a hamburger in your face, you don't have to eat it. Okay, you just, I mean, I don't understand how this is so hard to understand. So, long story short, I didn't get a house. And then when the housing bubble popped, and I had friends like freaking out because they had 3 houses that were now all underwater and they were going bankrupt and foreclosed on, and all this other nonsense was going on, and it was a bloodbath. I avoided that. I avoided that because of personal responsibility. The bank said, we'll give you a $300,000 house. I knew there was no way in hell I'd be able to make the payments, so I didn't get it. So if that's where we're at now, like, well, if, like we're bailing out the banks, we might as well get ours before the ship goes down. All right, I kind of get that, right? But you're again, like I'm saying, you're not stealing from the banks. You're not stealing from the schools. You're stealing from me and the millions of people like me that would have loved to have gone to school. Would have loved it. I would have had a great time. You think I liked, instead of going to film school or studying animation, you think I liked getting up at 4 a.m. and going to some shitty TV station where I had like the worst fucking job, but at least somehow it was tangentially related to video and film, and so it, like, I at least got to be kind of around it. But it paid almost, like, literally there was a Taco Bell across the street advertising the starting wage, a level of like several dollars more an hour than what I was making at this TV station. And then because I had to pay rent, because I wasn't living rent-free in a dorm, I had to work as a bouncer. So my day consisted of getting up at like 4 a.m., working at the TV station all day, sleeping for a couple of hours, going to a bar all night, dealing with drunks like you guys with your college loans, and then without going to sleep, because bars close at 2, had to be at work at 4:30, maybe going home for a little bit after mopping up your puke. You think I liked that? You think that was what I wanted? You think I liked because I had to claw my way to where I was, working for people who were like 5 years younger than me, fresh out of college, didn't know what the fuck they were doing, but they had the fancy paper telling everyone that they were a genius. So they got hired. They were my boss. You think I liked that? So all I can say is, you're the one that wanted to go to college. You wanted to be the genius. So now that you're in debt, figure that shit out, genius. For BlackPilled, I'm Devin Stack.